time is the greatest equalizer. It does not discriminate, it does not pause. It keeps moving forward whether we use it wisely or let it slip through our fingers. But the question is, are we truly making the most of it? I have learned that time is not measured by the ticking of the clock. It is measured by the impact we create, the lessons we learn, and the growth we achieve. Every moment that passes is either an investment in our future or a loss we can never recover. Time is the most valuable currency we have, yet it is often the most underestimated. Unlike money, time cannot be earned back once it is spent. You can always make more money, rebuild your wealth, or recover from financial losses, but every second that passes is gone forever. It is the one resource that is distributed equally to everyone, whether rich or poor, successful or struggling. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck in mediocrity lies in how they choose to spend their time. Many people go through life acting as if time is infinite. They waste hours scrolling through social media, procrastinating on their dreams, and engaging in meaningless activities that add no value to their lives. They say, "I will do it tomorrow," not realizing that tomorrow is never guaranteed. The most successful individuals understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they treat it as such. They plan their days with purpose, eliminate distractions, and ensure that every moment is used to bring them closer to their goals. When we start seeing time as currency, we begin to make better choices. Just like we would not throw money away on things that have no return on investment, we should not waste time on things that drain our energy and productivity. Every hour spent on personal growth, skill building, and meaningful relationships is an investment in a better future. On the other hand, time wasted on negative thinking, toxic relationships, and self-doubt only takes us further from our potential. The people who achieve the most in life are not necessarily the smartest or the luckiest. They are the ones who understand the value of time. They guard it fiercely, spending it only on things that truly matter. They wake up early, focus on their priorities, and do not allow distractions to dictate their schedules. They know that every minute wasted is an opportunity lost. It is easy to take time for granted because it is always moving, silently slipping away without warning. But the truth is, time is the only currency that determines the quality of our lives. Every second presents a choice. Use it wisely and build something meaningful, or let it slip away and be left with regrets. Those who understand this simple truth unlock the secret to success, happiness, and fulfillment. Prioritization is one of the most powerful tools we can use to achieve our goals and live meaningful lives. The reality is that we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but what sets successful people apart is how they choose to allocate that time. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Too often we get caught up in the noise of everyday life, responding to emails, attending unnecessary meetings, and constantly reacting to the demands of others. In the process, we lose sight of our true priorities and end up busy without actually being productive. To harness the power of prioritization, we must first learn to identify what truly matters in our lives. What are the things that align with our values and bring us closer to our long-term goals? What actions will have the most significant impact on our personal and professional growth? When we begin to prioritize the tasks and people that move us in the right direction, we begin to experience more focus, clarity, and fulfillment. The first step in prioritization is understanding that not all tasks are created equal. Some tasks are urgent but not important. Others are important but not urgent. The key is to focus on what's important, regardless of whether it feels urgent. Many of us fall into the trap of responding to immediate demands, thinking that these things need our attention right now. However, by constantly reacting, we miss out on the things that truly move us forward. Prioritization involves being proactive rather than reactive, taking control of our time instead of letting circumstances control us. Once we've identified our priorities, we must learn to say no to the things that do not align with them. This can be one of the hardest parts of prioritization, especially when we want to please others or feel guilty about turning down requests. But saying yes to everything means saying no to the things that truly matter. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your goals, you're taking time away from what will. It's important to recognize that setting boundaries is not selfish, it's necessary for our success and well-being. Prioritization also involves managing distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. From our phones to the endless stream of notifications. To achieve more, we must learn to protect our time by eliminating or minimizing these distractions. When we focus our energy on the tasks that matter most, we become more efficient, productive, and fulfilled. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. Prioritization allows us to do just that. Setbacks are often seen as obstacles, roadblocks that stand in the way of our success and happiness, but the reality is that setbacks are not barriers, they are setups for greater things. Every challenge we face, every failure we experience contains within it the seed of growth and transformation. When we shift our perspective and begin to see setbacks as opportunities for learning, we unlock a powerful tool for success. It is easy to get discouraged when things don't go according to plan. We invest our time, energy, and resources into a goal only to find ourselves facing rejection, failure, or disappointment. In these moments, it's tempting to give up, to walk away, or to believe that we are not capable of achieving what we set out to do. But these setbacks are not signs that we should quit. They are signs that we are being prepared for something greater. Each setback forces us to re-evaluate our approach, to become more resilient, and to find new ways of overcoming challenges. It is through failure that we learn what works and what doesn't, what our weaknesses are and how to strengthen them. When we embrace setbacks as opportunities to grow, we begin to see them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Every time we fail, we gain valuable experience that shapes us into stronger, wiser individuals. Rather than viewing setbacks as personal defeats, we can choose to view them as lessons in disguise. The pain of failure, the frustration of things not going as planned, can be the fuel for our personal development. We learn how to adapt, how to improve, and how to come back stronger. In fact, many of the most successful people in history faced setbacks that could have destroyed their dreams. But instead of letting those setbacks define them, they used them to propel themselves forward. The key to turning setbacks into setups lies in our mindset. It's about adopting the belief that everything happens for a reason, that every failure is a necessary part of the journey. When we approach setbacks with a mindset of growth, we stop seeing them as dead ends and start seeing them as detours to something better. Rather than being discouraged by setbacks, we begin to look for the lesson, the opportunity for growth, and the strength that will come from overcoming the challenge. In this way, setbacks become not just obstacles, but setups for greater success. Investing in self-growth is one of the most valuable decisions you can make in your life. It's the foundation upon which all success, happiness, and fulfillment are built. Too often, we spend our time focusing on external factors. Our job, our relationships, our material possessions, believing that these are the things that will bring us true satisfaction. However, the greatest investment you can ever make is in yourself. When you invest in your own growth, you are not only improving your skills and knowledge, but also nurturing your mindset, resilience, and overall well-being. Self-growth is a lifelong journey, and it begins with the decision to prioritize your own development. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of daily life, to focus on immediate needs and distractions. But without investing in personal growth, we stagnate. We become comfortable with who we are, with what we know, and with where we are in life. This comfort, while familiar, can also become a cage, limiting our potential and keeping us from experiencing true progress. To invest in self-growth, you must first commit to learning. The world is constantly changing, and the more you learn, the more you open yourself to new opportunities and perspectives. Whether it's reading books, attending workshops, or seeking out mentors, each piece of knowledge you acquire is a tool that you can use to navigate life more effectively. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. And this humbling realization sparks a desire to keep growing, to keep improving. Self-growth also involves taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. A strong body and a clear mind are essential to achieving your goals and maintaining long-term success. Exercise, proper nutrition, and mental health practices like meditation and mindfulness are all ways to invest in yourself. The more you nurture your well-being, the more energy, focus, and clarity you have to tackle challenges and pursue your dreams. Building resilience is another key aspect of self-growth. Life will always present challenges, and the ability to bounce back from setbacks is crucial for long-term success. Every obstacle you face can either break you or build you, and the difference lies in how you respond. When you invest in self-growth, you equip yourself with the tools to turn adversity into an opportunity for growth. You become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more capable of handling life's challenges with grace. Investing in self-growth is not just about achieving more, it's about becoming more. When you continually improve yourself, you increase your value not just to others, but to yourself. You become more confident, more capable, and more equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. Ultimately, the greatest return on investment you can ever make is in your own growth. It's the one investment that pays dividends for a lifetime. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your life and the direction it takes. Energy is contagious, and the mindset, attitude, and values of those around you will influence your own thoughts and actions. When you surround yourself with purposeful people, those who have clear intentions, a vision for their lives, and the drive to achieve it, you become part of an environment that fosters growth, ambition, and positivity. Purposeful people push you to be better, challenge your limiting beliefs, and inspire you to reach for your highest potential. Too often, we allow ourselves to be influenced by those who don't share our values or aspirations. We fall into the trap of maintaining relationships out of convenience, fear of being alone, or a sense of obligation. However, these connections can drain our energy and limit our progress. When you're surrounded by people who lack direction or who are content with mediocrity, it becomes easy to fall into the same pattern. Their complacency becomes your own, and their lack of ambition starts to shape your mindset. On the other hand, purposeful people have a magnetic energy. They inspire and challenge you, creating an atmosphere of possibility. These individuals are not only driven by their own goals, but are also committed to seeing others succeed. They celebrate your achievements, encourage you in times of doubt, and offer constructive feedback when necessary. They push you to break out of your comfort zone and pursue your dreams relentlessly. Purposeful people are intentional about their time, energy, and relationships. They are mindful of who they allow into their lives, and they choose to spend time with individuals who elevate their thinking and support their growth. By surrounding yourself with such individuals, you begin to adopt their mindset. You start to see the world differently, one full of opportunities, growth, and possibilities. The energy and ambition of those around you become the driving force behind your own success. Moreover, purposeful people hold you accountable. When you have a group of people who share similar values and goals, they push you to stay on track even when things get difficult. They remind you of your potential, and in moments of self-doubt, they help you see the bigger picture. They don't let you settle for less than you deserve. The company you keep shapes your mindset, influences your habits, and determines the path you take. By surrounding yourself with purposeful people, you create an environment that nurtures growth, fosters success, and inspires you to live a life that is intentional, impactful, and fulfilling. Many people spend endless hours planning and dreaming about their goals, but too often, that's where it stops. Planning is important, but without action, those plans remain just ideas. The truth is, nothing changes unless you act. A perfect plan is useless if it isn't put into motion. Taking action is the key that unlocks the potential of every dream, every goal, and every aspiration. While planning can give us direction, it is action that propels us forward and turns our vision into reality. Too many of us wait for the right time to begin. We think that we need to have all the answers, all the resources, or the perfect circumstances before we take the first step. But the perfect moment never comes. The reality is that we learn and grow through the act of doing. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you start the process of turning an idea into something tangible. And with each subsequent action, you learn, adapt, and make progress. Taking action doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. In fact, waiting until everything is perfect often results in missed opportunities. If you wait for everything to align perfectly, you might spend your whole life waiting. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the stars to align. It comes to those who take imperfect action despite the uncertainty. Every small step you take builds momentum, and momentum is what keeps you going, even when you face obstacles or setbacks. Inaction, on the other hand, leads to stagnation. The more you hesitate, the more doubts creep in, and the harder it becomes to take that first step. You can spend your days planning, strategizing, and brainstorming, but if you never act, you will never see results. Action forces you to move forward, to confront challenges, and to learn from mistakes. It's through action that you discover what works and what doesn't. It's through action that you gain experience, build confidence, and strengthen your resilience. It's easy to get caught up in overthinking and worrying about making the wrong move, but the truth is there are no perfect decisions. Every choice will come with risks, and every action might lead to failure. However, those failures are not a sign to stop. They are part of the journey. They provide valuable lessons and feedback, allowing you to adjust your course and improve. By taking action, you are learning, growing, and inching closer to your goals. Planning without action is like setting sail without ever leaving the shore. You can dream about where you want to go, but you'll never get there unless you actually start the journey. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Take that first step today, no matter how small, and continue moving forward. The results will come not because of the perfect plan, but because you chose to act. Remember, success isn't about having the perfect plan or waiting for the ideal moment. It's about taking consistent action, no matter how imperfect or uncertain it may seem. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dreams. Don't let fear, doubt, or perfectionism hold you back. Start now, take that first step, and keep moving forward. The journey may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. The only way to achieve more is to stop planning and start doing. So go ahead, take action today, and create the future you envision.